All right, so we do have some time, so we have another article. Did you guys see the other video that I posted up on Discord for you guys?
You mean Zoolander?
Superman.
Zoolander.
Sure.
Do you okay? Do you get what I'm saying, Zoolander?
No.
No.
Because it's called Blue Steel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
All right. So
That was bad.
I found a game that apparently Factor 5 was working on, and they had released an alpha build of a Superman game they were working on, and apparently it was called Blue Steel because that's the name of the title from the video. So I will leave a link in the show description at some point to if anybody wants to check it out, or just look it up on YouTube. It's Blue Steel Factor 5 Superman game. It's a really bad build. It's like bare minimum type of game, but I just found
it's
it
like
really
Superman
interesting.
64.
It's like Superman 64, actually, yeah. But I just found it really interesting that someone actually still is attempting to make a Superman game. Like I find it hard to try to make a game with someone who's so he's such an unstoppable force and he has all these ridiculous powers and uh I don't know. I think it's incredibly hard to make a Superman game. Like, what do you guys think about like an actual Superman game possibly coming out one day, or how would one actually work? Danny, you already had an opinion on this. Like, what were your thoughts on it?
What did I say?
I don't know, you just said it was sucking. It sucked.
Well, obviously this just looked really bad, and it's
Well, the game
bad.
itself,
Like,
of course, it looked bad because it's a
yeah, it was just.
prototype.
But okay, here's my biggest thing. You can't do a Superman game that's this open ended because of two reasons. A, they show part of it, like when they show the part where him taking, I think it's fighting Zor-El or whoever,
Yeah,
and like ramming them through a building, and they're like post like you see them running through the offices just like the Superman movie
I
does.
thought that was cool.
Yeah,
Yes,
honestly,
very
that
cool.
was really nice.
I thought that's really cool. The whole problem is that's because Superman, like you said, is so powerful. That would have to be not just part of the game, but majority of the game of the being able to be so much destruction in it.
Hmm.
In the same way the Hulk can, just flip
No,
cars and destroy shit and things like that.
What was
what
the
was it called?
game?
Ultimate what?
Ultimate Destruction.
Ultimate. I think so.
Ultimate
For the
Destruction.
Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was a fun game. I mean,
Yeah.
because you can do what you would think the Hulk would do, destroy, tons of damage on buildings, blah blah blah. Obviously, the
Just like
damage can
Superman.
stay, but
Hmm.
it would have to be to a much higher extent with the fact that he can literally knock down buildings.
Like the Man of Steel
Now,
movie.
yeah, exactly, because that's what happened in those, right? But if you're able to do that, then it defeats the purpose of you being Superman, because Superman doesn't just knock down buildings for fun, and that's what people are gonna do. The
But
Grand
the
Theft
thing is,
Auto style, they're gonna knock down a whole fucking city and see if they can knock it all down, and it's gonna respawn it,
Well, they
and
thought
then
about that in the Superman 64 when they were still trying to figure out how that game would work. They were thinking of doing how Superman will not have a health bar, that Metropolis would have a health bar, and you'd have to keep Metropolis safe.
that's smart. Because
that's
also
smart.
the thing with the video that you put, it was a very very early build where it was kind of just showing like what you can do as Superman, what you can do with the environment, not to a full extent. So it didn't have, as you said, like a fucking Metropolis health bar. Because I'm pretty sure, like, even though you had the option to ream a villain through a building and deal all this fucking extra damage, would it be worth it at the expense of the city?
Right.
Yes.
You gotta weigh. Oh, wait. You gotta weigh those pros and cons of using your environment.
Yeah.
And then here comes my second dilemma with the game.
Hmm.
Like that's one part, and they might have fine ways around it, but the biggest part about a Superman game and versus a lot of other characters is that Superman, almost like Captain America, is kind of the most boring character because they are the ultimate babyface, they're the ultimate good guy.
Hmm.
So their storylines are often very dry. This super good guy who did her
Yeah, they're the
wants to
Boy
do
Scouts
something good.
of their franchises.
And it's very hard. The same reason why it's very hard to do a good Superman movie nowadays is because it's the same reason why you can't do a good Superman game. The storyline is going to be very, very, very challenging to try to make. And there's a lot of challenges like that. That's a lot. That's a huge challenge when it comes to a game that you're trying to invest in. It's not like Spider-Man or the other things where you have all these crazy characters. If you start adding all these crazy characters in, you're not in this world, you can be in other worlds. Because that's why it's Superman is the comic books are so big, is because he's constantly going in different worlds, different planets, different things, fighting all these crazy creatures, things like that. You can't bring that to the small city of Metropolis that you're trying to build because it's not going to be in that. You know what I mean? So you just can't have the same cheesy bad guys or
Mhm.
that Spider-Man is, stop the crime real quick because that's boring. It's super boring because that's not because Superman can
Mm,
be so much more.
yeah, I mean, I'm really not worried about story. You can come up with plenty of things to make Superman interesting in some sort of way. And there have been a lot of story content in like the comics and in movies and in animated movies and shit like that where
Yeah,
Superman has been interesting. They could use it in a video
yes, of
game
course, but then not,
Like when
but
Superman
it's
was fat.
not,
when
but
Superman
it's
was
not,
what?
When Superman was fat.
Yeah,
Mm.
like that.
but they're usually the world's not that those movies that are interesting, whatever. They're not only based in the metropolis setting. They're off world, they're off it. It's completely different environments. And if you're building a world building game where you're building the city, New York, or whatever it is, you're not gonna have that. You're not gonna get all these crazy, interesting storylines because that's that town, that city, that thing is very boring. It's all the things that happen elsewhere. This is what makes Superman interesting. You know?
Kevin, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, to piggyback off of Danny, yeah, Superman is like a boring superhero. I would prefer if they did like, I know this sounds dumb, but like a Superboy or a Superboy game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
like
actually makes more sense. Yeah,
yeah, because it would be
Wait, so
like
what would be the difference between a Superman and
be,
Superboy?
because
because
you.
oh, go ahead, Dan.
No, no, you got.
No, no, no. So
Just heard, yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever played the game that's called Undefeated.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
basically, you're basically a Superman in a world, but you can do all the crazy shit that everyone does. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can slam through buildings, but it gives you the feel of being Superman without the restraint of like, oh, you have to care about the citizens or everything. It just gives you almost unlimited power. It's a fun ass game.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was looking at the game, I was like, man, this could be a cool ass Superboy game because he's not as I would say as I'm not gonna say as tame, but he doesn't know as much restraint or anything as Superman, even though he's his son or anything. And it could be either the Superboy from Young Justice. He's basically a clone of Superman. Um, he doesn't know like the ways of like being an Earthling and all that stuff. He's like learning, so
Mm-hmm.
it could be untamed and raw, and he can have that. He can have that um, attitude or like that perspective
Yeah.
rather than it being like fucking bread and butter as Superman. You know what
It's
I mean?
just Superman already grown up. He's already established. He's
Yeah,
already like we
yeah.
already know Superman.
You know about Superman, but you don't know about Superboy. That
Right.
it's like how he was made and why he's the
Yeah,
way.
and again, and when you picture Superman, you picture of him be able to do anything. He can destroy this building. It's like, why am I even fighting this guy? This guy, we know Superman can just hit this, not kill this guy in one hit. Makes no sense, right? And you destroy this whole fucking city in one hit. You don't have that same feel that even though technically probably Superboy probably could, but
Mhm,
you still don't have that feel of him being able to do it.
mhm.
So if you don't have that feel, then you don't have the expectations of how come Superboy can't just go around destroying all the buildings.
Yeah.
So you can give it more of this is why he's stopping these little bad guys. This is why he's doing the small side missions or this whatever these BS things are to make it interesting. And then when a villain pops in, I can't even think of what Superman villain retired, but like Lex Luthor, or whatever, pops
Yeah.
in to
Jeff
fight you.
Bezos.
Okay.
Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, so break Silent Grundy, things like that. Like they pop through to fight. You're like, oh, this makes sense. And I like this. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Where if it's Superman, you're like, oh, Solomon Grundy, oh, come on, he's gonna hit him one hit and die.
He's
This
gonna
is
launch
stupid.
him. Solomon
Yeah.
Grundy going on a
So
Monday.
so Randy, what are your thoughts before you move on?
Um, I do kind of get what you're saying with like Superman being a very stale IP to work with, but what they can do with it is that it's shown a lot more promise than any superhero game that I've seen. I have seen what the fuck was it called, Undefeated,
Mhm.
and it's pretty interesting. It definitely is. But I love what they're showing with this. The whole concept of like, what if Metropolis had a health bar? Awesome. Give us a story, and if anything, do it like Hitman does it, where it's kind of like episodic or just like more DLC based. If anything,
Mhm.
give us the different stories from outside Metropolis or just even inside Metropolis, like Fat Superman,
Mhm.
as DLC, or just not even as DLC, but just like content that they release periodically.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
give us
that
a
makes
base
sense.
game and just add on to it.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, $60 for this. A month later, we're gonna have just at least like a 40-minute thing that we could play through, that we could keep on playing, but it's a different story from the different comics because there's so fucking many.
Mm-hmm.
Like Miles Morales, that was a standalone game,
Mhm.
but it's still a different iteration of Spider-Man that's still being fleshed out as it goes along.
Yeah, you could easily introduce a lot of different villains in each DLC. Like Superman's
Yeah,
got
of
some cool
course.
villains.
Yeah. I was gonna say I had two thoughts. That is two final thoughts.
Mhm.
It was with the Miles Morales thing. The reason I love the game Miles Morales, and it's not just because it's a Spider-Man game. It's because it's like you're literally playing a new superhero that doesn't know how to be a superhero, so
Yeah.
he's like still learning and everything. So I feel like that would be a perfect example to make like a Superboy
Superboy.
or like any kind of superhero that it's new to being a superhero, and it's such an easy idea. Anybody could do it. That Trunks just scared the shit out of me.
What the fuck is wrong with that Trunks?
And
I forgot to send a picture today.
Oh,
and I
man.
forgot to and I forgot my thought with that one. So, anyways, back to Drunk Guardian.
So anyway, so that's it for the news and stuff. That was a little extra added bonus content that a video I saw today or was yesterday. So we're finally gonna finish the battle royale today. So
Hell
we got
yeah.
a couple of more battles to go. And
Wait.
yeah.
Kevin has to have like 6 more shots because the best part of the podcast was Kevin going, "Fuck you, Randall. I'm right and you're wrong. Give me a drink."
Where's my drink?
Yeah, you want to take a shot together?
Yeah, I'll take one together. Give me a
I
second.
bet.
Well,
Hold on. Let me.
you can't put the video on though.
We're not going to, but
No,
it's
I'm
like
just
I
saying,
could.
like, because it'll just freeze because my fucking computer.
Gotcha. So, do we just go one at a time and show the shot?
Yeah, but just a single this time. I'm not gonna do a random shot.
I think I accidentally did a double, but it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna go first. Hold on. All right, I'm gone.
All right. Fucking there goes Trunks.
Whoever's left.
Hey, it's normal right there. That's like a
That's a double, bro.
no. There's like this space.
Yeah.
It starts from here.
That's
So
a
that
half.
Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
one.
Kampai.
Sorry.
And you froze just now too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Down we go.
All right.
Yo,